Welcome back to the channel. We are back from, let me check the mic's out of shot. Yes, we are back from our holidays. I've eaten way too much ice cream. We've done some reviews just to keep the channel ticking over while we were there. But now today we are gonna get right back into it and make a Ben & Jerry's flavor. We're gonna do coffee, buzz, buzz, buzz. As you know, I love my coffee, so this might be a nice one for me to make. Let's get stuck into it and see how it's done. So the first thing we're going to do is make our espresso fudge, and for that we're going to take a whole can of condensed milk. It's also called sweetened condensed milk, although they're identical things. Put that in a pan, gently get that warmed up, adding in your chocolate. Once the chocolate's completely melted into your condensed milk, then add in your instant espresso powder. Make sure that's nicely combined, give it a quick stir to try and get those espresso flavors mixed throughout, then put it in a lined container in the fridge for a few hours to harden. At that point, you can divide it up into individual servings if you wish. Now onto the ice cream base itself. We've used this technique before and it's a really good one. So we're gonna take our milk and put it on the hob and warm it gently. Now we're gonna add in our ground coffee beans. You can use instant coffee, you can use whole coffee beans if you like. Whole coffee beans takes a bit longer because the surface area of the coffee beans is much smaller compared to the ground beans. But the overall flavor at the end and strength will be the same. Leave this warmed milk and coffee mix on the hob ticking over for at least an hour. At that point, take your milk, put it back in the pan and add in your sugars, your egg yolks and your skim milk powder. I've added 0.2% Stabiliser to the sugars before adding them in. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. Once that's all nicely combined, take it off the heat, put it in a container, add in your cream, brings the temperature down nice and quickly, and then put it in a fridge for a few hours to completely chill. Once the base is completely chilled, you can take it out and put it in your ice cream machine to let it churn. Whilst the ice cream is churning, take out a serving of your chocolate espresso fudge. Now this is straight out the freezer, so it's quite difficult to chop, but it's the ideal way and time to do it. Otherwise this can get really sticky and really messy. Chop it up into whatever size pieces you like. I've tried to stay something like 1/2 centimeter squares here, but however is absolutely fine. Put it in a little container to the side, and just before your ice cream is completely churned to your liking, add in your espresso fudge pieces. Let it all combine and then put it in your tub. Put that in the freezer for at least 4 hours. And here we go. Look, we haven't done a tub. My wife and I were saying that we haven't had a tub for a while. And as it's just coffee, buzz, 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 obviously is bees. Let's take this lovely, fun little tub and get some ice cream dished up. Scoop's lovely, smells really strong. It's one of those things, coffee ice cream. Obviously it depends on the type of coffee you have. In Canada, their instant coffee was shockingly bad. I mean, to be fair, their ground coffee wasn't great either. Tim Hortons coffee is just, I'm not even gonna describe that. We threw ours away. The best there was Starbucks, and I'm not a big fan of that either. So, you know, it's all subjective. Everyone likes different coffee. Use whatever you like, flavour-wise, to make your coffee ice cream. If you like Nescafe Gold Blend instant, use that. If you like a specific type of bean, use that. If you like a one brand of pre-ground coffee, use that. The result is going to be perfect because it's to your taste. Here we go. Now, I've used a ground version of this. This is from a roaster here in England. We got a couple of their different beans and pre-ground. It's great coffee, really, really nice flavour. We've used this before in the past, this Sakura pre-ground. It's a really nice, soft flavoured coffee. And we also have this, which I drink generally on a day-to-day basis, is the Azira. Normal Nescafe, I'm not a big fan of, but that's surprisingly good. So just use whatever suits you. Let's see what this tastes like first. That's good. That is really good. Texture's spot on, zero iciness in there, super smooth, strong coffee flavour. And that's something that one of the ice creameries or scoop shops, whatever you want to call it, that we went to whilst we were away, had a coffee ice cream there. It was so bad I threw it in the bin. It tasted burnt. It didn't taste like coffee, it just tasted disgusting. It was, considering it was made in a batch freezer and not a home machine, although our machine is probably the most professional home machine you can get, it was awful. So some people can get this really quite wrong. One thing I want to mention about Ben & Jerry's Coffee Buzz 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 is something that someone mentioned in one of the reviews, and that is on their website. It said that they messaged this person, called themselves KKKKKK, that they were curious about the caffeine content because they're quite sensitive to it, so they reached out to the customer service, and Ben & Jerry's came back to them and said that our Coffee Buzz 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 has 46.5 milligrams of caffeine per 100 gram serving. Now that might sound like a lot, but in reality I found a website that goes through all the different caffeine contents of your everyday kind of coffees. Obviously this is going to be very specific depending on where you live, but over here one mug, which is generally considered anywhere from 250 to 300 millilitres. One mug of instant coffee is 100 milligrams of caffeine, and one mug of filter coffee is 140 milligrams of caffeine. So your filter coffee will still stand for your whole beans, as well as something like your pre-ground. That will be the same, give or take, caffeine content. Obviously, espresso has, by and large, more caffeine in it, but it's such a small serving that you actually get much less per drink. So if you really want a strong coffee flavour and you want to use instant, you're going to have to use a fair bit more instant coffee. I'd say probably per litre, somewhere around 8 to 10 teaspoons of instant coffee will give you the same strength coffee ice cream that pre-ground or beans would for steeping for an hour. Obviously for beans, I would recommend you steep it much longer, maybe even overnight, just to get that strength of flavour through. Again, that's the surface area of the bean is much lower than the pre-ground, so it's quicker to get the flavour out of pre-ground than it is for whole beans. The flavour is the same, it's the same product, it's the same bean. So if you like a coffee bean, grind it. Grind it, soak it, warm milk, good to go. The Espresso Fudge, I've used this fudge before. It's good. It's really easy to make, off the shelf, condensed milk, whatever chocolate you like. I mean, I probably would stick with a dark chocolate, something 56% and over. Again, you know, to get the espresso flavour into the fudge, on the back of the Ben & Jerry's tub it says coffee flavour. What that is, your guess is as good as mine. Likely a coffee extract, but if you can't get a good instant coffee, then by all means use coffee extract, something like that. Its flavour is not quite the same, but it'll do the job. You've got a really nice texture change with the coffee fudge in there. It's just a wave of caffeine in this, so if you're sensitive to caffeine like that reviewer on Ben & Jerry's website was, maybe just, you know, tone it down a little bit. If you're not like me and you need as much as you can get to get you through the day, go for your life. This is gonna really wake you up some. So Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Now that we're back here, we're going to continue with our making ice cream videos. Actually, I've managed to get hold of the last 2 sundae flavors, the vegan one and the hazelnut one. So we'll do a review video for those. We managed to gain our first troll on our last video, so yay, it means we're doing something right. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.